So how'd you get involved with fighting?
Yeah, I moved to San Luis Obispo to after high school. I had no plans, but then I was a good wrestler. All of a sudden, I said, "Oh, I want to wrestle. I want to go to college." So I went to try to go.
So wrestling was like your original
I love wrestling.
discipline.
And I tried going to college, but then I realized I didn't know you had to have like special classes and stuff to go to some colleges. So I was only able to go to a junior college. So I went down to Cuesta and I was wrestling there, and I saw this guy walking around. He had a mohawk and his jacket that said Kimpo. He was looking all tough. He looked kind of goofy. So I walk up, start talking to him. I'm like, "Oh, you fighting stuff?" And he's like, "Yeah, I got a gym. What's your name?" Like, "Oh, Chuck Liddell." So I'm like,
"Oh shit."
Like, he's pretty big. So I asked if I could come spar him because I thought I was badass. I won all my street fights. I was pretty tough. So I went in to spar Chuck Liddell, and he gave me a whooping. I was not expecting that.
Yeah. What year was this?
1999.
Holy crap!
Yeah, it knocked me out with a liver shot. It was. I don't know if everyone hit the liver. It's the most painful thing ever.
It's like lightning going up your fucking side.
Body locks up.
Yep.
Yeah, and the thing is, because Chuck hit me there, so I covered it thinking he wouldn't hit me there again, and he came and hit me.
He punched you or kicked you there?
Punched me.
Oh wow!
And then he hit me like 3 times in the liver. But then he goes, "Don't ever show you're hurt." That lesson stuck with me for the rest of my life. Never show you're hurt. Never show your weakness. So
gotcha.
But after that,
legend as well. He was here in Miami.
Yeah, legend. So after that, I'm just like, wow. I just started like following Chuck around, pestering him. I would show up at the gym. He wasn't training anyone, but I would just start copying him.
Yeah.
And I probably annoyed the hell out of him for a couple months. But I remember eventually, after a few months, one day he texted me, invited me to come to Big Bear with him for training camp. And that's when I go, oh, he must like semi-respect me or like me at least, because I won't leave him alone. So he was my mentor for the first year.
What a mentor.
Yeah, it was such an amazing mentor to have. Still a great friend of mine, loyal guy, like such a loyal,
really
good,
fucking
good
cool.
friend.
In Vegas, he was just going crazy. It was awesome. He was such a nice guy.
I introduced him out there in Vegas.
Yeah, thank you so much for facilitating that. We're going to have him on here soon as well.
Yeah, such a genuine, loyal friend. He's done amazing. We've done a lot of each other, but a perfect example is, I had a arrest warrant out for me for some stupid shit. It was got in the news. Mm-hmm. Chuck went and called an attorney without telling me. Had the attorney get my warrant pulled, just stuff like that. Just such a good loyal friend. I mean, I would obviously do things for him too. That's what friends do. But he's just a genuine dude. One thing all the MMA guys are so fucking cool, man. I really that Vegas trip really changed my perspective. Mm-hmm. Not that I always had an enormous amount of respect for fighters ever since I met the Tate brothers. But going out, meeting you, meeting Rampage, mm-hmm. meeting Chuck, and meeting you guys in real life. I mean, we got Nate Diaz in the house too. He's in the back chilling. How humble and how cool you guys are. And it's like the fact that you guys can beat the shit out of people. Yeah. But
you guys are still super cool and chill. Then I meet some of these fucking streamers, and I'm like, these guys are morons. And I'm like, how is it you meet these other guys that are super respectable, but they can knock your fucking head off? Then you meet these other guys that have no self-respect, they don't respect you, they don't respect themselves. It's fucking crazy.
Probably because we worked so hard to accomplish what we've achieved. And there are some douchebag fighters too.
Of course.
All the guys I introduced you are the cool ones. You had Paige on, didn't you? I think I saw him.
Yeah, it was awesome,
so
man.
That's cool. I'm glad that worked out.
Thank you for setting that up. We're going to go out to California and do a pod with him as well for his channel. So
yeah, that guy's a legend. I love Rampage.
Rampage is so fun, cool, so humble. Funny as fuck too.
Hilarious. Yeah, I'll have to go watch that because I saw a clip. I'm like, oh, that's dope. Rampage went out there.
Yeah,
but I think it's because we work so hard to get there. So for the most part, most fighters are really cool and humble, and it's the guys that give us bad reps are the guys that are fake fighters that aren't that good and they run around, oh, I'm a fighter, acting all tough. If you notice, all of us, look how mellow and chill we are. I mean, we're not going to take any disrespect,
of course.
But only an idiot would come and disrespect us.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So you got in. So you start. So you're one of the pioneers, man. Mm-hmm. Guys like you, Chuck Liddell. The UFC wasn't a thing in 1999.
It was there, it just wasn't as big.
Okay.
In '93, it launched.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that. So '93 it launched. You're fighting in '99. I remember it taking off in the early 2000s. That's when I started to hear it on TV, on the news, and everything. Mm-hmm. Take us through that, with the explosion of UFC, because you were there from the beginning.
Yeah, so it was. I used to go out and fight in Indian land. I mean, they call it native land now for some reason, but I think the Indians still call it Indian, and that's how I grew up. The Indians, I think, pretty sure still call them Indian reservations.
Yeah.
But people always get mad at me. It's Native Americans. Yeah. I get confused over that. But anyways, we used to go fight in Indian land. It was illegal almost everywhere. It was gnarly. We'd bare knuckle.
Oh shit!
My very first fight, I was.
I had to fight on Indian reservations at first.
Yeah, it was banned in California. Literally, my first fight, I was there just watching in the crowd. Someone didn't show up, and they're like, "Who wants to fight?" And I'm like, "Yeah, me." And then they picked me, and then they go, oh, fuck. They're in there in the back. Chuck's wrapping my hands, and I'm sitting there about to have a panic attack. But I'm like, well, I can't puss out in front of Chuck. This guy's like my mentor. And I went out there and just beat the shit out of a guy, and then I was addicted.
Holy shit, man.
Yeah, it was nuts from just being in the crowd. Another thing, you're wrapping up, and then you're walking out, and you're like, what did I just agree to?
Holy crap. So this is in the 90s now at this point, right?
This was like 99, I think. Yeah,
okay.
Early.
Wow. How old are you now at that point in 99?
19, I think.
19. Okay. So you, so when does like Dana come in, and because he wasn't there from the beginning, right? If I'm not mistaken.
No, he wasn't running it.
He comes in later on.
The Fertitta brothers bought it, and they put Dana in charge.
Okay.
So that was early 2000s, maybe 2001, 2, around there somewhere.
And then it just exploded from there.
Yeah,
man.
it just really took a while still. I was always surprised because to me it was the only sport I wanted to watch.
Yeah.
And like, why is no one watching fighting? Why are people watching football and baseball?
Yeah. And boxing.
People watching grown men play with balls instead of fight?
Yeah,
That's some weird
yeah.
ass shit. So I never understood it. And I would tell people what I did, and I thought I was a pro wrestler. It was annoying. And it was like, and there was no money in the sport.
Yeah.
But I was so poor. I remember Chuck Liddell got like a $50,000 payday, and I'm like, oh, you can make money fighting.
Yeah.
That's how broke I was.
Yeah. So when did it really like? I remember it taking off when I was in high school, like 05, 06,
I think
07.
05's when it really took off.
Okay.
The Ultimate Fighter is what really launched it. They did that reality show,
Oh, yeah.
and then I think it was Chuck on the first one. Chuck knocked out Randy, I believe, and that just blew it up.
Yeah.
And that crossed. Chuck was the first guy to become a superstar in fighting.
Yes, I remember that. I remember being in high school and seeing him, the Iceman. You know what I mean?
That was the first person I knew to ever get famous, and seeing how cool he stayed was like, that's how you stay.
Yeah.
Because I remember I hadn't seen him in a while, and I see Chuck, and I was like, and he's just like, bro, you never hit me up anymore. And I go, wait, I'm the one treating him different. He's not treating me different.
Yeah,
I'm treating him different because he's famous.
Yeah.
And like we went to go to a Hugh Hefner party, and they're like, well, Chuck can get in, but your friend can't. And Chuck's just like, go fuck yourself. And I end up getting in too, but I'm oh, this guy's like so loyal.
Yeah,
he's like not just like ditching his old friends.
Yep.
I wasn't a fan. I was a nobody at the time, but Chuck still treated me like we were brothers. I'm like, oh, the fame didn't change him.
Yeah.
So seeing that goes like, that's what you're supposed to do when you get
I
famous.
guess throwing punches with someone like really bonds you to them to a different degree, right?
It keeps you real when you're in there, like your brothers. Like you said, we're here, and Nate Diaz here, because I came up after Chuck. I switched over and started training with Cesar Gracie, and that's where I met Nick Diaz, Nate Diaz, Gil Melendez, and we have like a lot of people call it like the Scrap Pack, one of the most amazing teams of all time. Most of these gyms, everyone moved to these gyms to train there, but we're authentic. We all came up together. Yeah. We were all just a bunch of poor, tough kids in the same place, and we just pushed each other. Like, we motivated each other so much. We would come in and just, every day, we would just grind. And even though we were, like, good friends, we'd beat the shit out of each other when we're training. We beat the shit out of each other so many times. Black eyes, bloody noses, but they're like my best friends.
Yeah. You and Nick are really close. He's here right now. He's in the back chilling, guys.
Gilbert. Yeah.
How'd you guys meet?
When I first got there, there was some other guys better than me, but me and Nick were the two best up and comers there. So we'd be stuck sparring together all the time, and we would just go at it. So
what's that like with, because he's jiu-jitsu, if I'm not mistaken, and you're wrestling.
We both do it all.
Okay.
He's striker, boxer, jiu-jitsu.
Of course,
so it's just, there's so many ways we mix it up. Me and Nick have had so many wars.
Of course.
The thing is, let's give an example. Let's say one day I come in though. Let's say I have a bad day and Nick just beats the shit out of me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna think about it all day, and I'm gonna come back and beat the shit out of him. And the next day, he's gonna think about it all day and come beat the shit out of me. So we've given each other so many ass whippings.
Yeah. And
then that's when I brought in Gil Melendez, and then that's when Nick started bringing this thing in Nate, and they would go at it, and me and Nick would go at it every day. We would all obviously cross over too, but it was like we were also competitive with each other. But it's a good competition.
Of course,
we drive each other to get better.
Iron sharpens iron, right?
Because I can't let these guys. Even though I love these guys, you can't let them start beating you up. So we just drive each other to be better and better and better.